Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing today. This is your boy Kaze. I'm coming at you guys again with another Nino Kuni Crossworld video. So today, I actually wanted to touch on all of the topics. Mainly just the main question around what is CP? How do I increase my CP? This is a question that's been going around amongst the community for quite a while now. There's been tons of guide videos put out there going into detail, into depth around how to actually increase your CP. But what I actually want to do for you guys is I just wanted to break it down to the nitty gritty, get straight to the point on where is it that all of your CP is really going to be coming from. Now, first and foremost, before I even talk about this, I want to make sure you guys understand that I am going to be referring to whales in this video. I am going to be referencing them. So if you are a free-to-play player, that does not mean that excludes you. All I'm going to be doing is just using a whale as an example, because what I notice is that most people they're just paying attention to the leaderboards. They're looking at those 1 to 5 players, the top 10 players on the server, and they're comparing their CP level to theirs, not really understanding the whole reason that person has that CP level is because they spent a whole bunch of money on the game. But even for the whales, for those of you guys who have not spent yet, this will be a great video for you guys because it'll help you understand where you should be allocating your funds to. Where's the best place to be utilizing your crystals and things like that. So let's actually kind of get right into it. Let's actually go over here to the community. Let's go into rankings. Let's go over to overall rankings. Skips Kingdom CP. For anyone that does not know, Kingdom CP is a cumulative sum of multiple players. That's why you see something like 10 million combat power. Could you imagine having to fight someone with that much combat power? It'd be impossible. So on my server, as you guys can see, the rank 1 player is a player by the name of Liar Spoker. Now, this player plays as a witch, and let's take a look over here at their equipment. So they are level 62 with 613,000 CP. Now, most of you guys are looking at that and you're like, well, even if they, where's all the CP coming from? Like, that's all we really want to know. Like, where's it coming from? Let's get right to it. So for those of you guys who don't really understand this stuff, because in Ni no Kuni, one thing that kind of is very deceptive about it is that it comes across as this very, very helpful game that gives you tutorials and things like that. But because there's so many features and mechanics, a lot of this stuff kind of gets lost in the dust because it's a lot to keep up with, and it's confusing. And there's no real way other than, I believe, YouTube videos and guides online and articles to really reference back to those tutorials to get an understanding of what things are. That's to my knowledge. I could be wrong. But in terms of Liar Spoker, this witch, where's all of this player's CP coming from? Well, I'm going to summarize it for you guys. You guys can see here, this player has equipment. This player has mythic level rarities, as well as, I believe this one is, what kind of rarity is this? I think this is mythic, and I think this is just like rare. I don't know the rarities. I don't really pay attention to that stuff. I know which ones really matter though. Most people, when they come into MMOs, they think that rarity is the only thing that matters. And in this game, I actually want to kind of explain something to you guys because I'm coming from experience. I've already, wailed on this game already, so I'm telling you guys from perspective. Just because you guys get the highest rarity of a weapon or a piece of equipment or a familiar does not mean that it will equate to a high level of CP. You can have, how many slots is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can have 10 slots of the highest rarity and still have a CP level of like 200 to 300. I want you guys to be aware of that. So don't think that just because you attain a high rarity piece of equipment that you're going to have a high CP amount coming from it. That is not what equates to high CP. So if you guys take a look here at the stuff that he has, well, what are these little numbers that are represented on the weapons? We have a +10 right here. Then we have this 10 right here. Well, this 10 right here, the little blue dot, that represents the awakening. Right here, the +10 represents the enhancements. Now, to my understanding, the enhancements go up to +16. I don't know about the awakenings. I would envision that they do go up to +16 as well. But in terms of where a majority of your CP is going to be coming from, it's going to be coming from these right here, these enhancements. I mean, not enhancements, these awakenings. Now, what does an awakening actually mean? Well, awakenings mean you achieve this by getting duplicates of a particular material. So if you get duplicates of the same weapon, you can therefore take that duplicate that you have and transfer it over into the original piece and make it a much stronger piece of, you know, a combined power, making the CP level therefore increase. So that's why you guys see here, he has a minimum of 23,000 on the weapon, but he's getting an additional 13,000 CP. And that's the reason for that is because one, the awakening, and also the enhancements. But from my own experience, enhancements don't give you too much of a big jump in CP. It's the awakenings that really cause it to take a large jump shift. So if you guys take a look here, he got 25,000 with an additional 16,000. He's got a 30,000 with an additional 20,000 CP, and that's just with an awakening 4 with a +10 Milky Way spear. Now, one thing I do want you guys to recognize too as well is that there are tons of other factors that are represented in CP levels, because as I mentioned before, there's so many different features and mechanics in this game that can give you CP. And one of them that you guys are seeing right here represented on the screen is the gems. Now, I don't know much about gems, but I do know that they do boost your stats, and they also do give you CP. So you can see from here, he is getting 2,000 CP from that. So those are some ways, some other ways to be able to gain some CP. But in this video, I'm mainly focusing on the ones that I believe give you the biggest spike in CP. And the first one that I'm talking about now is just the awakenings. Now, we can come over here to the familiars. Now, the familiars, in my perspective, give you the largest bulk of CP. They will give you the largest amounts. Now, if you guys see here, obviously this guy is a whale. And the way that you can tell is because look at how many times he got a duplicate of this character. Like, he got 7 duplicates, if I'm not mistaken, or it's 8 if I'm not mistaken, or more, because he could have failed the enhancement, the awakenings, and he got it up to an awakening 7. So now, because of that, he has an Ouroboros that is pretty much giving him 40,000 additional CP, and that's only one of his familiars. Now, if you come here, he has a disbelief that's at awakening 8. With 43,000. And then he's also got some equipped toys here as well. But then you come here, and then he has a rambunctious, which gives him an additional 25,000. Now, as you guys can see, this is where a majority of the CP is coming from. These totals here, a bulk of this is coming from these awakenings, these enhancements, these gems. Now, there's tons of other ways for you guys to be able to earn some CP in this game, such as, and I don't really want to focus on this because I'll save that for another video. This is just kind of the little nitpicky stuff. Now, you guys do have records. You guys have achievements, codex, collections, records. You also have the power-ups such as the Higgledies, the Tetro puzzle, the Heart Stars. You can also get it through mounts, I believe titles. So there's plenty of ways for you guys to be able to increase your CP. But in terms of how is it that the top ranked players are stronger than you guys, well, hopefully that gives you guys some insight, because outside of whaling, you still need to have some understanding around, well, where is the majority of the CP coming from, because that's the important part. You can whale and still, like I said, and still have a very low CP level. I believe I'm one of them, you know. But hopefully this gives you guys some understanding and some insight on what these top players are actually doing, because all of it is just an accumulative sum of multiple different things, but a bulk of it is coming from one or two places. And like I said, in my terms of what should you guys be prioritizing, if you are going to be using the gacha, well, the first thing you should be prioritizing is going for familiars. The second thing is equipment. Costumes is great if you have extra, if you're just one of those people who, if you're a diehard, I gotta have the costume, and you just plan on staying free to play, hey, maybe take a shot with the the weapon. I mean, not the weapon, the costume banner. But if you are one of those CP heads, listen, familiars, then equipment. That is the tier ratio. That's the way that you want to go about it. So hopefully that helps you guys. Hopefully that gives you guys some insight on why these players are a lot stronger than us outside of Welling. But if you guys like this content, make sure you guys rate, like, comment, and subscribe to the video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace. And if you guys have any questions on anything that you are confused about, please make sure to leave it down in the comment section below, and I will make sure to hit you guys back up with a response. See you guys.